you're not a cook, if you don't have many recipes to follow, you don't really know your way around a kitchen, try to start with just two simple ones that you know back to front. If you need help, then I'm sure your trainer can supply some information for you. That being said, knowing what to eat. Variety. Variety is key. So again, try not to fall into a routine where you're eating the same things every day because it's easy, because you don't have to put much thought into it. If you've got a couple of recipes and you know what you're going to eat through the week, you've got that plan ready, you've shopped for it, that will avoid being in a food routine. Choose from a large array of colours. I know it sounds punsy, but if you are eating lots of colours, especially with produce, different colours indicate different vitamins and minerals. If you are, again, eating the same things daily, you're cutting out a whole list of other things that you could be absorbing, which in turn will help you. Where possible, try to replace animal-derived foods with plant-based, which will help minimise cholesterol intake. Try to ensure you enjoy foods that are the closest to the natural form, so things that are packaged, tinned, jarred, things in cartons. If you take care of, if you put effort into it yourself, so cooking everything that you possibly can, it'll help you in the long run. Know what's in the foods that you eat. Make sure you understand the needs of your body. Again, can't stress enough, thirst versus hunger. And lastly, as I said, cook your meals from scratch wherever you can. Put care into what you eat and it will care for you. Cooking your own food will allow you to know exactly what goes into your meals, but not only that, it can be therapeutic. Alright, so calories and how to work them out. Who knows what a calorie is? Yeah? Calories are simply the unit that we use to measure energy. I know you'll pick up something that's in a packet. So for instance, a loaf of bread, you look on the nutritional panel and it's got either kilocalories or kcals or kjs, so kilojoules. I know a lot of you are like, well, what the hell is a kilojoule? How do I translate that into a calorie? So this is what we're going to go over. So all foods do have a calorie value. Simply the amount of calories that the food will supply your body when it's eaten. The food label on your packaged foods usually lists the energy content in 2 units. Again, calories or kilojoules. This is the same way in which height can be measured in feet, inches, centimetres, that sort of thing. To convert kjs to kcals, 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 kilojoules. So on your next page, there should be a table there of how to work them out. For example, 1 slice of bread supplies 290 kilojoules, or 290 divided by 4 equals 70 calories. Again, that's going to help you when you're doing your food diaries. Alright, so that I've included there for you. I won't read it all out, but I will go into burning your calories. Number of reasons why calories are burnt in your body. Your body requires a certain number of calories per day to simply stay alive. This is called your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Generally, this accounts for the majority of calories burnt, approximately 60%. So your body, each day and every day, your body burns these calories to maintain the most basic fundamentals of life. So that is, as it says, breathing, blood circulation, brain activity, and so on. That being said, however, it is ideally that you burn more than just the 60% of just daily life. I'll just put that on me. Everything you do results in burning calories. So washing up, gardening, climbing the stairs, doing your laundry, walking the dog, picking the kids up from school. That's all exercise. Every time you move your body, it's exercise. Though that is incidental exercise. And that isn't we want you to be doing a lot more than that, especially if you want to be progressing through this competition. So incidental exercise should not be your only form. Nothing will equal calorie output than working hard and training hard. Incidental exercise is that added bonus on top of a regular workout routine. Now on top of that, this isn't up there, but when in your one-on-one and your group sessions with your trainers, just remember this. Are you working hard enough? Do you think you can work harder? Are you tired? Are you sore? If you're feeling these and you're thinking, well, I think I can work harder, then why not do it? So this will be your only chance with us, well, this time around anyway, to put your effort in and give us your all. Because we're going to do our very best to make sure that you all succeed in whatever goals that you have here with us, especially my team anyway. Okay, moving on. Reading labels. Now, who knows how to read a label? I mean, seriously. You look at the back of it and you think, what the hell? Take it easy over there. You see? All right, so reading labels. Summary. Food labels can carry the information that will help you make food choices. Pretty basic. Labels will list additives, ingredients, and nutrition information such as fat and protein content. The food label list of ingredients. All ingredients must be listed in order by weight, including added water. So the ingredient listed first is always the one that's present the most. It's got the most in there. And the one last, again, is least amount. Now this is just an example. So the aim is in the name. If it is a meat pie, then it must contain meat. The characterising ingredients that are in the name, usually mentioned in the name of the product or highlighted on the label. A characterising ingredient is the main ingredient you would expect to find in the food. For example, as it says, ingredient of meat pie is meat. So therefore it's on the food label. I'm not going to go on with the rest of it, but as you can see, the following are large amounts per 100 gram. So that's there for you. You've got this to take home with you, but we're going to move past that. So labels and reading them. Now this is a little bit, it can be a little bit tricky when it comes to the labels and the names in labels. So wherever you see light or fresh as or low fat, low cholesterol, be careful because they are just merchandising gimmicks. A lot of them are just there to sell products. So when it comes to the labels and tips and tricks that the advertising industry and packaging industry use, I've got a list of them for you. So for example, the term light doesn't necessarily mean that the product is low in fat or energy. It may refer to the texture, the colour, the weight of the product. So again, coming back to reading your label, if the term light isn't reflected in salt, sugar and fat content, then it's not light. They're talking about texture and colour. The claims no cholesterol, this is a big one. A lot of you see them, we all see them in everyday grocery stores where you see margarine, butter, mayonnaise, those sorts of things. Low cholesterol or cholesterol-free on foods derived from plants like margarine and oil are meaningless because all foods that come from plants contain virtually no cholesterol. However, some can be high in fat and contribute to weight gain if used too generously. If an item claims to be 93% fat-free, we see these everywhere. Just remember, it's still got 7% fat, which is huge. It just sounds a lot better the other way around. Baked, not fried. Sounds healthier, but it may still have just as much fat. Check the nutritional information panel and to be sure. Fresh as actually means the product hasn't been preserved by freezing, canning, high temperature or chemical treatment. However, it may have been refrigerated and spent time in processing and transport. Therefore, it will probably have preserves on it to keep it fresh as. So organic is probably best. I know it's more expensive, but at least then you know that it's coming whole. All right, so labels and reading them as we continue. Whenever you see the claim on the label, so it's light, it's low in fat, low in cholesterol, so on and so forth, the manufacturer must be substantiated in your nutritional label. If it's not, then don't purchase it or don't consume it. Always go back and reading them and know what you're doing, know what you're putting into your body. So no added sugar. Products must not contain added sugar if this is what's stated on the label. Reduced fat or salt should be at least 25% reduction from the original product. Low fat must contain less than 3% for solid foods, and fat-free must be less than 0.15%. Percentage of fat, remember 80% of fat-free is the same as 20% fat, which is a large amount. Let's move on. So again, know what you're putting into your body. The 3 biggest things that you want to be limiting: intake of fat, intake of sugar, and intake of salt. Yes?
Sorry, just a quick mention on that, please. But when he was talking about the calories in the diary, if you there's a couple of good apps on the phone.
MyFitnessPal, yeah.
And
Calorie King, yeah.
If you have an iPhone or something, you've got one of those. Like certain of those meals are always going to be different. But if you have one of those, you're not too sure what kind of calories it has in that meal. That will give you a rough guide, and you can put it in your diary. So those apps are free on an iPhone.
Yep.
So 80% of the country have iPhones
on
now, so
smartphones. They're on Blackberries as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On computers, no way. So you have really good apps again, just so you can have a more accurate measure of what you're eating calorie-wise.
Yeah.